Hello there, students. Today we are going to cover the first chapter of the biology for Genus 6. First of all, what is biology? Biology, in bio, mean alive, and logy mean what's mean that studying alive. So it's science of life. We study living organisms and their interactions with one another and their environment. So life is recognized by what living things do. Oh, what mean living things? It's mean organism. It's mean you, me, my dog, the trees around us. So look at this frog in the top of this rock. The frog, as compared as the rock, is a living organism. The rock is not a living organism. Characterize living organism versus non-living organism. Living organisms are highly organized. They are made of cells. They can be monocellular organisms, form only one cells can make the entire organism. They can be also multicellular organisms, such this frog again. They are made of cells, tissue, organ systems. They be like. So if I came in and I touch you, or somebody came in and did a little pinch on your hand, you will feel it because you are a living organism. And even the trees, even the leaves, they are sensitive to stimuli. Like this mimosa pudica. When you touch it, or even a little fly coming in it, it's instantly drop and fold when you touch. And after a few minutes, the plant returns to normal. So as a living organism, we respond to stimuli. We respond to the intensity and the quality of light. We respond to the change of temperature, to the pressure, to the chemical composition of the environment. We can be scared too or run away because we are a living organism. Living organism reproduce. There are the two types of reproduction, sexual or asexual. Asexual, like amoeba, microorganism, bacteria, algae, some plants. And the progeny is identical to the parents unless some mutations happen. In your left, it is an amoeba. It's a monocellular organism. It's made and it reproduces asexually. Sexually, this is most of organism, and it involve it involves specific cells, sexual cells, sperms that we call gamete, sperms and egg. Living things, we grow and we develop. We were a little zygote when the sperm of your dad and your mom came together and make an egg, right? And you develop through your life. So yeah, you develop and you evolve. Any living organism do that. And the mechanism that help to develop and evolve there in your life are cell division, cell enlargement, metamorphisms, differentiations. We also regulate our metabolism process. We have to maintain our internal environmental stability that I will cover later on. Just the next slide. It's called homeostasis. Look at this polar bear, for example, and other mammals living in ice-covered regions. They maintain their body temperature by generating heat and reducing heat loss through thick fur and dense layer of fat under their skin. So we adapt. But first of all, what is metabolic process? What means metabolism? It's any chemical process that happens inside of any living organism. And we regulate this process through a mechanism that we call homeostasis. Homeostasis can act at the level of the cell, tissue, organ, as well as organism, the entire organism. And the living organism have the possibility to use the energy and transform this energy. There are two types. The photosynthesis, it's happened by the plants. The plants, what they do, actually, they get their energy, their light energy from the sun, and they are able to transform it into organic energy. In very simple metabolism equation or reactions, imagine yourself now as you are a plant. All what you are getting is a light, and I am giving you water. It's raining, or I put water the plant, so I am watering you, and you are getting CO2 from the environment, from the atmosphere. And what you are doing, you are transforming that into an organic molecule. And an oxygen. As those plants are going to be called the autotroph organism. They are the producer of the planet. If the plants are the producers or are producer of the planet, who are we? Me, my dog, the cat. Who are we? We are the consumer. We are going to consume this organic molecule, this, let's simplify it on a simple molecule of glucose, of sugar, C6H12O6. And you are going to breathe the oxygen, and what you are going to give, you are going to just free the CO2, water, and energy under the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, for each cell in our body to do the job. So you're going to take this organic energy, this energy that is actually into this molecule of glucose, C6H12O6, and you are going to transform it into a chemical energy under the form of adenosine triphosphate, so the cell can do the job. So I can think, so my cell can do my job. So this is a very nice summary, how the living things. So they have a living thing that they are autotroph, the one that use the sunlight to produce an energy that is going to be consumed by the animals. And those animals are, human animals, they are going to be called heterotroph organisms. I like this slide. Really an old slide. This is very nice slide simplifying the organ, that showing that the living organism or the living things or organism are highly organized. They are all made of subatomic particles. Let's look at it bigger, such as electrons, protons, and neutrons. That's going to be the subject of our next chapter. Those electrons, protons, and neutrons came together to form an atom, such as carbon. Carbon is made of protons, electrons, and neutrons. They came together, they formed the carbon, the C. And C can combine with another molecules or two other molecules to form, for example, CO2 is going to combine with a molecule of oxygen or two to form CO2. So an atom can combine with one or more atoms to form molecules. The molecules came together to organelles, such as Golgi apparatus, for example, ribosomes, mitochondria came and formed the mitochondria. And the mitochondria and all those organelles they are come together and form a cell. Cell is the smallest living unit that can live independently. Remember amoeba that I talked earlier about, that this is a monocellular organism. Just a cell by itself can make an organism. An organism can come together to form a population. I will come back to this. So the cells can come back together and form a tissue. Tissue, what is it? It's a group of cells that share the same characteristic and at some point even the same function. And they came together, they bound together and form a tissue. Tissue can come together, which is a structural unit in which tissue are combined in a specific amount and pattern that allow them to perform a common function. An organ, such as the stomach, all the tissue in they are making major function, which is digestion. And those organs, there are other organs that also can share the same function and the same either chemically or physically resemblance. They can come together and form an organ system, like the digestive system. And within the digestive system, you have all the organs that share almost the same task. And those organ systems are going to make the multicellular organisms, such as us. Multicellular organism. So we are a multicellular organism. Look at what we have as our organ system. We have nerves, organ system. We have digestive system. We have cardiovascular system. We have immunity system. We have lymphatic system, integumentary system. And those organisms can come together and form a population, which are the same species. And we occupied a given area at the same time. And the populations can come together to form a community, like a community college. Where we cohabit with our trees, with dogs over there, we are a community. There are two main types of cells. We have the prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Did you see the size? Prokaryotic cells are smaller than eukaryotic cells. They are both containing genetic information, DNA. If not, is not going to be called a living thing if it does not have this genetic information, DNA. So let's look at the basic of a cell. Cell is made of plasma membrane. That is, we will look at it in a chapter called plasma membrane. It's a double phospholipid bilayer. That's the basic. We have plasma membrane. I want you to take a pen and write it down. Plasma membrane. We have a DNA. And we have ribosomes. Ribosome, for the moment, I want you just to retain that ribosomes are the factory, are the ones that are going to make proteins. So this is all the three characteristics that all the organisms, from viruses, plants, flowers, human, animals, share. We are all made of this. This is what makes us living thing. Plasma membrane, DNA. Beside of showing organization responding to stimulus, we all share this. Three characteristics. Plasma membrane, genetic material DNA, and ribosomes. So let's compare this bacteria over here with this eukaryotic. This is animal cells in your right. So we have they are huge. Barely not existence here, all right? We are all made of plasma membrane, genetic material, and a little dot over there, this little teeny thing, that are ribosomes. So yeah, we do have this. The biggest difference that I want you to look at right now between eukaryotic and eukaryotic, prokaryotic cells, their DNA is not within a nucleus. It doesn't have a compartment. It doesn't have a house. Let's look at it this way. If you look at the eukaryotic cells over here in DNA, is within a nucleus. Prokaryotic cells does not have nucleus. Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, tissue give me organ, an organ system, then organism, populations, then populations will make communities. We cannot talk about biology without mentioning Charles Darwin. The natural selection published by Darwin in 1859 is the hallmark for biology. Darwin made two main points. Species showed evidence of descent with modification from common ancestor. Mutation at this time we don't even know its existence. DNA, we don't even know its existence based on observation. He said species show evidence of descent with modification, the term that we use right now, mutations from common ancestors. Yeah, some mutations can give me, but within the same species. Let's make sure. I am going to making it sure. Darwin never said that the ancestor of human is a monkey. No. Even the Homo sapiens that defend their gene, defend some gene that he cannot be the ancestor of human. Scientifically, we prove that. Just we look at their one of the tooth genes. That's mean we don't have it, and it's a little gene. That means if we don't have it, we die. And we don't have it, but we exist. So within the same species, descent, we show modification from common ancestor. And natural selections is the mechanism behind descent with modification. Look at this polar bear that I showed you earlier that is living in a region with a very a lot of snowing there. The fur is very thick, and he developed adipose tissue under the skin to keep him warm. So during his trip, when he went to this island, he noticed that populations marry with the tree, many in which are irritables. Look at these beagles. Darwin at this time, he's only asking questions based on observations. You look at these birds, for example, these finches, and he focus on the beaks. So let's us also focus on the beaks, just based on observation. The beak for the first one in your left, he's sharp, very sharp. So how he survived, how he feed himself. He adapt. Following the habitat where he is, he have this sharp beak, which means he is able to prevail in insect feeding birds. Second one, he's a short, thick beaks, which is very suitable for crushing seeds. The third one, his long pointed beak, which is more suitable for picking seeds out of cactus fruit, because he looked at all what he's, when he saw this finch, all around it, he saw only cactus. He said, like, how he feed himself, and he looked at the beak. So Darwin postulated that the different shape of the finch beaks represents evolutionary adaptation that improve their ability to eat the food that exists in their environment. So this adapt at their environment and survive. So we are within the same species, we observe diversities. Diversities of life arise by evolutions. We add after that, after Darwin, we add other tools, chemistry, genetics, molecular. We're still arguing the origin from the same origin event. This is different. But I do believe, if you ask me as a scientist, evolution exists within the same species. And the variations to the evolution over time, we change. We adapt and evolve. We have three domains. We have bacteria, domain of bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Bacteria, archaea, eukarya. 6 kingdoms. The bacteria, archaea kingdoms, the protista, plantae, animalia, and fungi are the domain of eukarya. So the living organisms are divided on the type of the cells. Either they are prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Bacteria and archaea are prokaryotics. Eukaryotic, the one that their nucleus exists within they have a nucleus, their DNA is within a nucleus, they are called eukarya domain. Eukarya domain can be monocellular, such as amoeba. You remember the cells that I show you that are produced asexually? Yes, it's a monocellular. Or multicellular, just think about yourself. And the multicellular organism, if you think about yourself, you are going to be an heterotrophic organism. So you are part of kingdom of Animalia because you survive by ingestive nutritions. The fungi, mushrooms, these survive. They are also heterotrophic, and they survive by absorptive nutritions. and those who are the producer of the planet, the kingdom of plantae. So, what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is a branch in biology that binds a group of organisms based on the shared characteristic. So let's look at that. Why I call those population eukarya? Because they are all eukaryotic. They all have a nucleus. Okay, so they are here in the eukarya domain. Then from the eukarya domain, I want to select only those who are animals. Okay, let's select only all the animals. I will leave the plantae apart. And from the animalia, I want to look at only those who have umbilical cord, chordata. That's the phylum or division. And then from this chordata, I'm just going to differentiate the class, which is the mammalia. And from those, I am going to separate those who are carnivore from herbivore. Order. And then I will select the same family, the Ursidae. And from that, I will select the one that they share the same genus, which is they are all Ursus gene, and then the species black, white, brown. So if I want, that's Ursus americanus. Ursus americanus is this species. The gene is Ursus. It's a family of Ursidae. It's a carnivore. It's a mammalian. It's a part of the chordata. It's an animal and it's eukaryotic. And this is, if you look at the American black bear, Ursus americanus, we have this binomial system nomenclature. This is what we adopt now in taxonomy. We give the genus and a specific epithet. Like the word Homo sapiens. Homo means genus and sapiens means specific epithet. And we rate it, if you look at it, it's in italic. Or we rate it as, and we rate it normal, not italic, but we have to underline it. The binomial system has been developed by in the 18th century by Linnaeus, the Swedish botanist, the one that said God created and I named. Before him, oh my God, just to say for tomato, I think I will, they put it on almost 3 lines, just words, just to say the word tomatoes. After that, he came in and he said, okay, we are going. That's end my first chapter. I will we will cover the next chapters, which is the chemistry of life. Thank you. If you have any questions, you have my email, and we'll see you on the assigned times that I put in your Blackboard from Monday to Friday, and we will have an open discussions. Thank you.